in the classroom, there's only so much that you can do. You know, you could read all about all this, about the Capitol, about the functions, about the senators and the representatives, but until you actually go there and talk to one yourself, you really have no idea what's going on.
Experiential learning, I like it because you get to be in the place to learn about it, like where it's all at, the real deal, instead of looking inside a social studies book or whatever book you're reading. I'd rather prefer to see it in person than looking at a book. Like if you're in a regular school, the only freedom that you probably have is recess.
Well, I'd say it's definitely a drastic difference. I mean, here we are watching thousands of different people gather for one purpose. I mean, half these people could have come from like miles just to see this, you know, or just to be a part of it and support the change in legislation. So, yeah, it's definitely fascinating. And I mean, just seeing all the history around you adds to it. You know, it's actually there, it's real, it's not on a piece of paper, no pictures. You can step on the ground that, you know, real people in the books stepped on. So,
like, to me, this is what being a citizen of this country is about, being able to gather and share what your views are.
Through experience and actual real-life scenarios, you're able to really get a better understanding for the reality of the situation.
In any setting, but particularly in a more standard classroom, no matter how much anyone tries to convince and cajole you to learn and absorb knowledge, you're ultimately the only one who can make yourself put in the effort to get things done and to actually commit things to your brain. In an expedition setting, when you're out in a place like running around in the city, like in DC, learning about the history and the culture and the everything, it's 1,000 times easier to want to learn and to make yourself learn these things. No matter how much pressure other people put on you, until you actually want to learn, nothing's going to happen.
Experiential learning is, well, like, there's pretty much two kinds of learning. It's kind of like basketball that way. You can read a book about basketball and how to play basketball, or you can go out and actually learn how to play basketball. And which one do you think you're going to remember more? And which one's going to be more fun for you? It's how experiential learning. You do history in a book, or you can go learn about it, visit the sites, visit like archives and stuff, and yeah.
Anyway, education today, or as it should be, should teach you life skills for, like, today as a teenager and as a adult. Like skills like learning how to balance a checkbook, skills like learning how to apply for a job, learning how to not be an idiot in general is key, and that is one thing that you learn vastly.
Education is supposed to be about preparing young people to go off into the world and be adults and be functional. Learning math, science, and English are very important and worthwhile things to do, but learning how to be a person is the most important thing. Learning how to live and work in your community, how to get along with other people, how to work in groups, how to socialize. Those are the things that we should learn most of all.
I think the goal of education should be to be able to make a change in a world for the better and solve problems. Like peace talks in North Korea, getting them to come to the peace agreement table, or whatever you want to call it, and solve that issue.
You're saying that should be something that education should be able to take care of? Or?
Well, education should be able to take care of any problem and know how to resolve it.
When you're reading it or doing whatever it is you're doing at a book or in a classroom or whatever, you're like, oh, great, if I do blah blah blah, blah 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 will happen. But if you're doing it in real life, you care about it more because it matters to you more.
Thanks, Andre.